Hello YouTube, this is Chris with Mars Warlogs. Let's play part
Jay and the train can't be
12.
very far now.
We are making our final escape. We are at the train station, and we have to get past the Technomancer and some guards. Not too much conversation, we're sizing each other up.
Well, Mary was right. It would seem our genius prisoner is seeking to part company with us. That would explain all of the inconveniences we've been experiencing lately. I suggest you surrender, sir. You know I cannot let you escape, and that I have the power to stop you forever. Don't let any reinforcements through. If anybody shows up, stop them.
Now, this fight was, even though I died once, I kind of learned what I did. I died once or twice. The Technomancer is kind of like a glass cannon. He does do a good amount of damage, but he can be, he's not terribly strong in defense. Now, I blinded some guys, and I thought I'd be okay because some of the guys were blinded, but it turned out that his lightning attack actually knocked me out. I didn't have any resistance against electricity. So this next, I'm actually just going to change my armor around a little bit and make it so it has a little bit of electrical resistance. Now I fast forwarded through all the menu stuff, through all the inventory stuff on the entire movie, just because it's it gets repetitive and it's tough to watch. So here is the next attempt.
Jay and the train can't be very far now. Well, that would... I suggest... Don't let any...
I just focus completely on the Technomancer first. I think that's a good strategy, as his damage is high, but his resistance to damage is low. He did get blinded, even though it didn't look like it at first. I thought I didn't get anyone, but it turned out I did blind him, which gave me enough time to get him to go down. I keep trying to blind these guys, and I get a couple. Actually, I get all three, which pretty much ended the fight, because once they can't see, they just start swinging randomly, and they don't move, so they can't block or anything. So once I did that, it was pretty easy.
We gotta go now. We're gonna have all the camp guards on our ass after that. Jesus, killing one of those Technomancers. I didn't think that was even possible.
Of course you can kill them. They're human beings, you know?
And now we find out that Roy was once a Technomancer as well, and that would explain some of the scars on his forehead.
What? What are you doing? We're going. I mean, should we get rid of this thing? What good will it be?
It'll give us a better chance to escape.
And that's what they use for their magic? All these wires? You gonna sell them?
Shit. Never thought I'd put these things back on.
Put them back on? Roy, what are you saying? You know how to use these things?
Yes. Now let's go.
And away we go.
Jay, we're here. The train ready?
Almost. A few more minutes, kid. We'll be breathing trail dust. Ha!
Not over yet, Jay. There's an entire troop on our ass. No way to get this machine going faster?
No, Roy, sorry. I did my best, but I got an idea. I'll hold them off.
You're crazy, Jay. If you go out, they'll kill you, and I can stop them easier than you.
You gotta be kidding. Why not come right out and call me a pussy? You keep an eye on the kid. Not the same if he's with me. You're like his big brother. Get them! stay there. I'll find another way to get out. See you in Shadow Lair. Now go!
They're gonna kill him, aren't they?
Yes. The only thing we can do for him is escape.
Master? Master! Sean? It can't be. Not you. How could that monster kill you? How dare he take your things? He'll pay for this, I swear. I'll hunt him to hell if I have to.
The man who saved me and got me involved in this incredible escape turned out to be far more complex than I had imagined. Roy is strong and brave, of course, and bitingly cynical. He doesn't flinch when slaying his enemies. Better to stay on his good side. But I began to understand his personality when I learned he was a technomancer. His knowledge of relics, his attitude, so different from the people I'd known until then. And his mastery of technomancy set him apart. And all became even clearer when I found out he was a fugitive, that he had fled the source for his life to regain his liberty, to escape the gilded cage of the technomancers. I understood why he couldn't bear being pent up in the camp and had to escape, yet again. The journey is long. We have to avoid falling into the hands of abundance and manage to get back behind our own lines. Aurora has apparently won the war, and the troops are demobilizing. But still, travel is a perilous affair, and to travel as we do, from one shadow line to another, having abandoned the train is even more so. I have had all the time I need to question him as to his past, and on the events at the camp. Why he thought of Sean and his apprentice, for example. He doesn't always answer, far from it. But I have begun to understand him better all the same, I think. And I am proud to be at his side. Perhaps one day, I may be a bit like him.
Okay, so now we've entered Shadow Lair. This is the hometown of Innocence, and actually Roy has lived here as well. Now the guards are going to be a bitch.
You sure your parents are going to be okay with someone like me coming around? Even if I am bringing the prodigal son back.
There's no doubt about it. My parents are in the militia with the people. And wait till they know what you did for me.
Many things seem to have changed while we were away, and that includes the militia's popularity. We'll see. You were lucky enough to snag some clothes your size. That'll be more discreet than those prison uniforms. And I have the feeling this will prove useful around here.
So yeah, the guards give us a hard time, and I end up having to fight them. I think coming out of the camp, my reputation was neutral. I soon find out that it's actually very bad, probably from killing or finishing off these guys. So it's probably something I shouldn't have done, but I end up fighting guards the entire time, which is a pain in the ass.
Hey, you! Papers!
I know this is gonna sound like science fiction to you, but I managed to escape from Abundance's prison camps.
Those bastards. They make me sick. They sure gave us hell on the battlefield. But we still took Green Hope. And where were you? Which camp? Do you happen to know Prowess Martin? Those pigs got him too. He was captured during the fights on the 12th Highway.
You know, there are several camps, Sergeant. And even if he happened to be in mine, it's a big one. I don't know every prisoner.
Yeah, too bad. I just wish I had some news about him. Those abundance bastards don't let anything through. Anyway, where are your papers?
Listen, Sarge. I know how stupid it may sound, but I forgot them at home.
And you forgot your uniform, too? What the fuck is that attire?
I've just been released from Abundance's prison camps, and I just arrived in town, hence the clothes. But please be kind, Sergeant. All I want right now is to go back home.
They always give the uniform back to the prisoners they release. Their uniform and their papers. What kind of stupid fuck do you think I am? Come on, we're taking you in.
So yeah, I figured initially we'd have an issue once I saw seeing the dialogue, but it turns out that after this I keep running into guards and I keep having to fight them, and it may just be because I finished these guys off and we took their serum from them, and it's in effect killing them. So I might have had that might have been part of it, and I think that's what brought my reputation down. Like I said, I think it was neutral when I left the camp. But it is bad now.
You'll see. My parents have a store in the neighborhood. When they see us show up, they're gonna flip out. Yes?
I have a few questions to ask you. You know Shadowlair well?
Well, especially my neighborhood. I never went outside it too much, especially downtown. Apart from for a few ceremonies.
You could have been more resourceful if you got out a little more.
Yeah, probably.
Good to be back?
Yeah, really.
Come on, let's go.
Hey, that dive's still here. We're almost there anyway. The store is just a little farther on the left.
You know, it took me a second to figure out what Innocence was doing, and then I realized that the house was destroyed, and his parents most likely killed.
Innocence, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened, but we gotta go. Pretty obvious we're not safe here, especially if they're watching the house. Come on.
Roy. My parents are dead, aren't they?
Look, they're probably dead. Yeah, and I understand you want to know more about it, but I'm pretty sure they won't want you to go risking your life over it. We gotta go.
Yes. Thank you, Roy.
You there! You're under arrest! Stop right there!
have a few questions to ask you. You said your parents were in the militia?
Yes, my father got wounded in combat a long time ago, but he didn't want to stop fighting. So when the militia started, he and my mother joined up.
A noble intention, except I get the impression the militia isn't around much in these parts. Maybe they all retired when they announced the war was over.
Well, that'd be strange. The militia's still useful. Anyway, you can always ask them.
Come on, let's go.
Now I get to the top here before I go down. Effectively, I'm not in that plane, so they can't see me and I can't attack them. But I ended up waiting for this guard to come back and then go again back to the left, jump down. I knock him out, and it didn't aggro the dog or the other guards. So I waited. The dog came around the corner, and I ended up taking out him. I kind of let Innocence use his nail gun, because it seems that you can attack a dog from the front if you're using a nail gun, but not a melee weapon. And I ended up being able to separate them and take them in 3 groups. The first guard, then the dog, and then those guards in the upper section. So it wasn't too bad. But if I had jumped down at some point where the guard was near me, he might have been able to alert, or the other guards might have been able to see that he was in trouble and come to his aid. So it was it worked out well that way. So just keep that in mind, to try to separate them as much as possible if you can. this section here took me a couple turns. They're all kind of grouped together. I couldn't separate them, so I try sneaking up on them, and that doesn't work. And then I try using my fluid shield, and that kind of works. I end up eventually taking them on and taking them down. It did take a couple turns though. So now we find out there's another character in this story of Roy, who's a bounty hunter, and Technomancer.
Are you Tenacity, the bounty hunter?
Puts a hit on him.
That's me.
I have a contract for you. A man we want to find.
And consider it done. What's his name?
His name's Temperance, but he calls himself Roy. He refuses to join us. He's a renegade. You must be careful. It's said that he's armed.
Armed? You think I usually go after Boy Scouts? Anyway, I know this Roy. I didn't know he was a renegade. We even worked together back in the day. Tough guy. I mean, it's gonna cost you.
Name your price. We can't let this man walk free. And if he dies, we'll only be grateful.
All right, I'll be back with his body in a bit. Now get out of here. Your stench is pissing my dog off.
lots of great stuff to trade or sell. You got serum?
A little.
Now, I really shot myself in the foot here when I bought the cutlass. I didn't realize, I didn't pay attention to the dots next to the item, so I ended up buying a weapon that you couldn't upgrade. So I ended up having to go back to, I had to sell a couple things, go back to a metal pipe that had 2 expansion slots, and then I fit items to it. But I ended up, I shouldn't have done that. I should have paid attention, and then I wouldn't have had to worry about it. But the weapon that I sold was actually stronger than either of the two. So I kind of shot myself in the foot. I might have been able to get it back, but I had recycled it. So I lost all the upgrades anyway. But just bear that in mind. Pay attention to those little dots next to the name, because that shows you what the expansion slots are and how many items or upgrades you can put to it.
Yes?
I have a... You seem to be only thinking about the Resistance. Why?
It's true. I hope they'll help me understand. To get over my parents, too. And I can't just stand back. I have to do something, or I'll go crazy.
I understand. You holding up?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm out of it. And sometimes I'm full of anger. But I'll be fine.
If you ever need a hand, you can count on me.
Thank you. Really. It's hard, but thanks to you, I think I'll be fine. And at least...
So this is the end of part 12. We are going to his friend, Roy's friend that knows information, and then we are going to
I honestly didn't care about that stuff
to a safe house. So that'll be the next video.
Used to drop by to see them, asking for advice, all that kind of stuff. Man, do I regret not paying more attention and not telling them to stop it all.
No point in thinking about the past now. Come on, let's go.